small towns, high school football means just a little bit more. Main streets become parade routes, barbershops turn into rumor mills, and bragging rights become top priority.
You got friends from each town and you want to be able to go against them and say, hey, we beat you this year.
So you want to be able to tell them you beat them. You want to know that you're better.
A lot of the parents work together or work with them and know their parents.
It's the one game you especially want to win, I'll put it that way.
Such is the case in the century-old rivalry between the Odessa Bulldogs and the Oak Grove Panthers.
We've been rivals for a long time. They're 8 miles away. Our kids know each other very well.
West Virginia and Kentucky, they have the Hatfield and McCoys. Around here, we've got Oak Grove, Odessa football.
I wanted to beat Oak Grove, whether it was checkers, darts, you name it. I wanted, as long as Oak Grove came in second to whatever I was doing, that was fine by me.
He was 3 years old and he didn't like the Bulldogs or the Jayhawks, so that tells you how we train them back in Oak Grove.
It's the I-70 shootout. Just 8 miles of interstate separate these football-crazy towns.
Friday night football is probably the biggest event we have.
Our community is very focused on our schools and very supportive of our schools. Theirs is the same way.
Same size towns, same people, just different places, just don't like each other certain times.
The rivalry is fast and furious now, but in 1916, things got off to a pretty slow start.
They didn't play the game. It was scheduled for early October, and it was the first game of the season. But the train broke down. Of course, there wasn't any I-70 or Highway 40 then in those days, and they just never rescheduled it. Then the next year, I think, we played twice.
Oak Grove is in Jackson County, Odessa in Lafayette. It's splitting hairs, trying to find differences between two very similar sets of people.
The Lafayette people think, the rural people think, okay, we're down here in a rural farming area, but we're tough, and we're, our kids are going to play tough football, and Oak Grove comes from more of that city setting.
We both have our farm kids. We both have our kids that live in town, but I think we're very much alike. And I think that's what adds to this game is, we're within proximity. We're very similar, and we're both very competitive.
Well, I know when you go between the two towns, if you're out on the country roads, the Lafayette County roads are usually gravel, and the Jackson County roads are usually asphalt. So that's how you know where the county line is.
The now pseudo-friendly rivalry has had its share of controversy through the years.
Business owners talking trash on other business owners up there and on the team, Oak Grove's team.
One year we have 4 letters out front, OGHS, and somebody came and moved the G, I think, around to the back of the school, and so it only said OHS. So.
After '94, after Odessa won this 3A state championship, the next year they had a sign put out there at the sports field showing the scores from '94. Well, the next year that sign disappeared. And it was always said that Oak Grove kids came down and took that sign.
They burned down our bonfire one year. Pretty sure it was them. I liked it though. I'd do something like that. It's something I would do.
Adding to the hostility is the one and only state football title between the two schools, and don't think that doesn't get brought up often.
Well, when you have a winning tradition, you don't have to brag about 1 year. You can brag about the lifetime of the program. So, you got to ride your wave when you only have one wave.
I know a lot of people from Oak Grove say, oh, those people from Odessa, they still wear that '94 championship football gear, and they do.
In 2010, a new layer was added to the annual competition, and the rivalry's flames were stoked, courtesy of the local fire departments.
We went and washed the fire trucks. That was kind of a community service that the football team did. And I suppose Odessa did it too, I don't know. But the fire departments just kind of helped increase the rivalry, I guess, by giving that trophy.
The two fire districts have grown, pretty close together. We rely on each other a lot for different resources. And I said, I think that'd be a great idea.
Great job, Panthers, for another year. We get to keep the trophy.
Yeah, baby.
But having the trophy, it adds just like a tangible object, you know, something that they can refer to. Hey, let's get that trophy, let's bring it home. And it's a pretty substantial sized trophy, and it's definitely noticeable in the trophy case.
Over the years, the hardest of feelings have waned, and believe it or not, Odessa and Oak Grove's commonalities have helped bring them closer together.
I think if you ask each side, they would just indicate, hey, we have good, hardworking kids with good values and parents that do a good job of raising them, and that's what we're proud of.
You know, when you pull in some of the bigger schools, we're the small schools. Oak Grove, Odessa are the two small schools in the conference, and there's times that you do find yourself rooting for Odessa against some of the bigger schools that have an extra 200 to 300 kids in their high school.
But despite all that, there remains only one option on game night.
When it's game time, it's on. Nobody's friends at this point.